Okay, so I'm Timo, and I was invited by BigBlueButton for the summit, and the particular goal was that we have. So I'm working at Element, and that's why we try to get BigBlueButton into Element. So we wanted to have a very nice integration, which is also easy to set up. So people which already have an Element room, they can choose between using a BigBlueButton session or a normal call for the conference. And the current situation is that there is already a dimensions integration. This is an additional service somebody needs to set up. So you have the matrix server, and then next to the matrix server, you have dimensions. And that is it, and it did work, and it did do all the authentication you need to do with BigBlueButton. Well, we tried if we can make a simpler way, and the goal was basically just having a BigBlueButton server, and everything should become built in, and that BigBlueButton server is just exposing the normal BigBlueButton page, and also exposing a widget version. And then you can just have your matrix client, add a widget, just one URL, and everything else will then be handled between the widget and the BigBlueButton server. So that should make it super simple. So if you have Element and BigBlueButton, you should immediately be ready to go without any custom configuration for Element. But we wanted to bring it a little bit further. And this is what I'm going to show now. So let me share my screen. I think I just do the entire screen for simplicity. And then this is our demo room. And here we now can press on the call button and we get a list of options. So since there's also Jitsi conferencing in Element, that's also here. And then we have native Element calls. And then we have BigBlueButton. So pressing this button will automatically set up the widget and start the widget. And we need to do this tiny hack, but that's just a temporal thing with the current configuration of the servers. And now we have a BigBlueButton conference running inside a Element instance. And yeah, we can do all the nice BigBlueButton things. So we can use a drawing board and do all kinds of nice things. And it's all very easy and maintainable to host, because the way this works now is that we have a widget. The widget is wrapping the BigBlueButton page, and the widget is always the same. And BigBlueButton, maybe lots of you are familiar, is doing a redirect for actually joining, because you usually have green light, and then you get your join link, and then you redirect to BigBlueButton. And since we also want to have the communication between Element and this widget running all the time, we can do a full redirect. So we do, inside the widget, we have another iframe for BigBlueButton, where we then can actually do a redirect inside this BigBlueButton iframe. And the really cool part now is that we brought it a little further than just this call button integration, but we also made it interact with Matrix. This is also what Paulo was already teasing a little bit. So we call this Matrix RTC, and that is just a very generic way of communicating real-time sessions over a distributed Matrix network. So even if it's multiple servers and multiple users on different home servers, it's still possible to have one shared real-time session, and then people will figure out which backend, like which LiveKit SFU they're going to use, and who is joining and who has which role. Like those high-level signaling is done over this Matrix RTC, and it's then very easy for everybody to authenticate and join with the right SFU. And with that, Element already has integrations, like if there is a session, like here on the bottom left, it shows you that there's a running video here with one participant. And the cool thing is that BigBlueButton as a widget can simply post through Matrix, through Element, to the Matrix home server, whatever the current state is. So if I go ahead and open my phone and also go into this BigBlueButton demo room, we can see after it's synced that...
Sorry, I made a mistake. Please share your screen again.
Oh, okay, sure. No worries.
I'm going to get the next person set up.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So the screen's back on?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, very cool. And my video is probably also still visible. So in my video, I'll show my phone, and we can see, since this is a running conference, we can see that I get the option as a join button here. So I can press the join button. Let me just move this. I can just hide this real quick. So I can press the join button. I also will turn on my video here as well, just to make it a little bit more clear. So I have this join button here, so I can just press it. And now this is a Element X client with native matrix calling, which also is based on matrix RTC. And as soon as this person is joining into the room, maybe the camera should be turned on to make it a little bit more exciting. We can see that, oh, on my side it crashed, but for Florian it worked. So Florian is also working on the matrix RTC technology. And here I'm doing the demo again on my phone. So I'm joining here. I'm joining the same matrix RTC session. Right now it seems to take some time, but if demos wouldn't be so cruel to the person demoing, we start to see some working results here. So this is a native matrix RTC client, Element X, and here we have a BigBlueButton conference, and it has full interoperability. And I'm pretty sure that Paul and Florian, they are also joining with Element clients. So I'm currently the only one using matrix RTC, using BigBlueButton, but we all can interact. Yeah, and this is actually super cool, and we actually brought this one step further still. So if I go here and go in our public chat and also open the chat on the matrix side, and there's a conversation going on, and I say hello, and I send this here, what should happen is that this chat is now also bridged over to matrix. So when there is like a long message history, people sharing links, it will all also be stored on the matrix side and then also available on a normal matrix client. So if I go back to my Element X and things wouldn't take so long to sync, then you could see that it's like whenever I type something here into my BigBlueButton session, GGG for instance, then it also is appearing on the native matrix client. So with this like wrapping technology, we actually made it so that BigBlueButton, which already can talk LiveKit, made it basically a full-fledged matrix RTC client with all the beauty you can get with syncing the amount of people who are in there and syncing the streams. And we also put the cherry on top with the little add-on that Paul and I just did this morning, that we have the message syncing. It's only local and it's not a perfect solution. It would make much more sense to actually bridge the two servers. But as a first MVP, this is actually kind of cool.